Gunshots ricocheted across Chicago over the weekend, killing 4 and wounding 14 since Friday. That's on top of 13 wounded in a playground on Thursday, which had the head of Chicago's police force pleading for tougher gun laws.
Yet what is needed in Chicago and in cities across this country is real action on reasonable gun laws on the state and federal level. We need to keep illegal guns and military-type weapons out of our communities. Illegal guns, illegal guns, illegal guns drive violence. And military-type weapons, like the one we believe to have been used in this shooting, belong on a battlefield, not on a street or in a corner or in a park in the back of the yards.
The city of Chicago has spent $100 million in police overtime so far this year to try to stop the gunfire. While homicides are down more than 20%, residents are still scared.
I am scared about last night. I still have family here, and people are scared to come out the house now. It's like you're like in a war, and to see what's going on here is very devastated. It's like we back in war for 13 people that have gotten shot.
Joining us from Chicago is Pastor Corey Brooks. He is the pastor of New Beginnings Church, and he's joining us via Skype. Has spoken with a number of the family members of the victims of this shooting. Pastor Brooks, thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate it.
Me be on the show, Skype in as well.
I know that on Friday, we had hoped to talk to you on Friday. You were in the midst of a funeral then, and you've spoken with a number of the families of the victims or those that were involved. What is the prevailing emotion? Is it anger? Is it distress? Is it exasperation? You tell me.
You know, it's an array of emotions. You know, we're dealing with a lot of problems here in Chicago with the gun violence. And so it's putting a lot of stress on families. It's putting a lot of stress on the community as a whole. And so people are experiencing a great deal of stress, a great deal of anger, hopelessness, and all of those things seem to be setting in on a lot of families and a lot of people who are trying to just continue to make it here on the South Side.
And I wonder where the bulk of the blame is being laid. Are the residents there of the community, are they upset with law enforcement for not keeping the community safer? Are they upset with the residents there who are perpetrating the violence, particularly gang members? Where's the blame being focused?
Thank you. I think you'll see a range of focus from a lot of individuals as it relates to placing the blame. Some are going to say that we need more policing. Some are going to say that we need better parenting. Some are going to say that we need churches to do better outreach. But I believe we need all of it together. It's a collaboration of all of us working together to do everything that we need to do to make sure that our children have a chance to live. So therefore, we need the police, we need parents, we need politicians, we need preachers, we need everybody. It's all hands on deck. And we cannot afford to point the finger at individuals and say it's their fault. It's all of our fault that our communities are not better.
And in the neighborhood around where this shooting took place, the Cornell Square Park, I believe it's at back of the yard neighborhood. How is the activity there? Are people out on the streets? Did they spend time out in the parks over the weekend, or are they staying indoors?
Well, I want to be, to be very truthful about it. That park, a lot of people have just avoided it after this shooting. I've been to the park 4 times now, and I have not seen anyone in that park since that shooting. That's unfortunate, simply because the parks belong to the city of Chicago, the people of Chicago, and children should have a right to play, and they need to play. And for them not to have or to feel safe in an environment, it's not good for the city of Chicago, nor is it good for the community. So we're gonna have to do everything we can to make sure that that park and every other park is a safe place so that children are gonna have a right to play.
And part of the reason that this particular shooting gained national attention because of its youngest victim who's been identified, I believe it's Deontay Howard, the 3-year-old. Do you know how he is and how his family's doing?
He's doing a lot better. He's still in intensive care. He's had his second surgery, but he is awake and alert and attentive. He's not speaking yet, but he is able to nod his head yes or no, depending on the question that you ask him and his response. He's going to have more surgery, so we're going to continue to pray for that family and continue to be a support system for them as they go through this ordeal and face these next surgeries.
And finally, and very briefly, Pastor Brooks, 2 young men, I believe they're 22 years old, were arrested on Sunday for this shooting. What do you think should be done with them?
Well, it's not for sure that 2 young men have been arrested yet. They do have some people of interest, and some of them are even younger than the 22-year-olds. All that I can say is that I hope whoever did this hideous crime is caught, and not only that they are caught, but they have to pay for their crime. There are consequences. When you shoot children, when you shoot people, when you gang bang, there's consequences. And so I hope and pray that whoever did this, that they'll be able to pay the consequences as well.
Pastor Corey Brooks, thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and thank you for allowing me to Skype in one more time.
Sure. And this is Arise America.